So let's talk Big Rock. Today on RC Guy Garage, obviously there's a bunch of people out there know that I've been really putting a serious beat down on this ARRMA Big Rock, and I'm starting to notice a couple of things, and I just wanted to share that with you guys right now. There's some obviousness to all of this. These are kind of considered consumable or wear parts, but it's just something to keep in mind. I'm going to break out my digital caliper. We're going to check a couple of things, and we're going to see what's going on with this Big Rock. So if you're interested in seeing this episode from RC Guy Garage, let's just break into this Big Rock and see what it's all about.
You don't have to go now. I won't let you down. I don't know how you found me and why you stay around. It all starts when I'm lonely and you really know me. Might as well call it poison.
Every once in a while, I do have an issue with my GoPros. So I do have the GoPro 7 Blacks, these. I got 5 of these things. Every once in a while, I do have to do like a, see, like it's doing connection lost? What do you mean connection lost? How does a connection lost? See what I'm saying? Something is interfering. Maybe it's that. But every once in a while, I will have, just to like, I guess, reset it or whatever. You can see, I believe it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. But every once in a while, I just got to do like a, just a reset. I have to go into the GoPro app and just, you know, yeah, just like find camera again. So, and it finds it and everything's fine. We do have a couple of parts that came in for some speedrun stuff. So I do have my Scorched RC stuff that came in. This is pretty good. If you guys have been following along, you know what this is for. Then this piece right here, my Traxxas X-Max was able to shear off this piece, which I think that's funny. It's hollow. And I'm not sure if everybody knows how deeply hollow that is. So I'm wondering if that's part of maybe, I guess, a quality issue. But I do have the hubs to replace, because I had to replace effectively what this is this piece right here. So it pretty much broke right where the threads start. So should that have broken? I want to say no, just because I want to say no. But it basically broke. Well, actually, it didn't break at the threads. I'm sorry. It actually broke right where the flat ends to where you get to the spline. So that's a weak point. I think that's a design that Traxxas Hobby uses with their little clip. So their clip actually takes some of that material out. That's no good. I didn't think about it that way. That's what it is. So where that little clip holds on the spline, that's where it breaks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say that, like, I don't know. Traxxas is good, man, but they're also good. They're good at, like, making you, like, think that they are perfect, and they're not. They are very good as a company. Well, for their own purposes. But anyways, whatever. And I did get the green, even though I'm not going to see, like, any of it. I will see a little bit of a green sheen. See what I'm saying? I'm a poet and I didn't know it. I'm rhyming a lot of things lately. So you'll be able to see at least a green sheen on the inside. And I think the green parts are actually pretty cool looking. So we got those parts, but we're back on the Big Rock here, because the Big Rock has been able to dethrone the X-Max several times. I do want to bring out a couple of issues that I'm starting to have with this truck. And they're not technically really issues. They're common, like, wear issues or consumables. Yeah. There are consumables that are on this truck. Things that are being, I guess, worn, overdriven. I'm really beating this truck. So let me show you a couple of things that I'm starting to notice. One thing right off on the front end. This is, so I've been driving this vehicle in cold terrain. So driving the vehicle in cold terrain, number one, the issue with that is how do I explain it, man? In cold, right? In cold conditions, parts will contract. In hot conditions, parts will expand. So what I did was I've been driving this thing in cold conditions, which is causing the plastic to contract, causing the plastic to be, in a sense, kind of more brittle, I guess, in a way. And then what I do is when I'm done with my RC, because I'm driving it in cold conditions, snow and all that stuff, I'll bring it in and I'll put it in my boiler room where it's nice and hot, because the boiler room is providing, you know, not only heat for the home, but it's also providing heat for my hot water heater, because we have a boiler-fired hot water heater system. So that room is always warm. So I'm able to basically put all my RCs up against that boiler area on racks so that everything dries. So I can put in a fully snowed RC and literally let it drip dry, and it literally will dry completely. So even any of the water that ends up on the floor ends up drying as well. So, and it's also kind of good for the home in a way, because during the wintertime, when you have the heat on, you also have less moisture in the home normally. Unless, you know, with the heat that I've got. So, and like I keep talking about these body pins, just, you know, run a drill bit through. Make sure you just widen out the body pins, the body pin locations a little bit. It'll definitely help so that you're not tearing out these tethers, and it's a little bit easier on your fingers getting these small kind of clips in and out. So I haven't done anything with this vehicle as far as upgrades, except for hot racing front hubs. Now, I want to show you something. I'm going to pop this wheel off, and I want to explain what I saw when I pulled this out of my drying area. So I'm going to pop this wheel off, which is going to require me to have a tool. If I can find a tool. All right. So we'll get right in there. And these are going to be cranked on. So it's going to be a good question. Oh, yeah. Well, because I thread lock my stuff. So let's see. Can I get something in there to get that off? Holy smokes. That's jacked on there big. Big time. So let's get in there and... Holy smokes. But it definitely keeps the wheels on. I did notice on the passenger on the driver's side over there that the or the left side front, that I've got what I call a wobbly wheel. So I need to figure out what's going on with that. Man, this thing is cranked. I obviously put a lot of thread lock on there. So that's the other thing too. Eventually I will be taking the thread lock and burning it out. So, let's see. So I'll pop this wheel off. It should technically be like thread locked on. Oh my God. Yeah, see? See all the thread lock on there? So you can see what's going on. I do have to clean the inside of the wheels. There is a certain amount of maintenance. The wheel itself, seemingly, is fine. Checking the tire. Looks like the tire is sufficiently glued. You can see there is a little spot right there where it's starting to come apart. And these are those areas that you got to pay attention to. So this is all a part of maintenance. You know what I'm saying? See how it's starting to pull away? So if you don't want your wheel or your tire to rip off your rim, you've got to be on top of that. You got to check every once in a while, check the condition of your tires and make sure the glue's not separating. That's normal. The only thing that I've done is I've replaced my steering hub knuckle with a hot racing steering hub knuckle, which has solved the issues that I came across. Now, there's another issue that I came across this morning when I actually grabbed this truck. Now, I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So when you look right here at this portion of the hub where the steering arm is connected to the link, right? So, right there. So this piece, okay? Now, I want you to watch something. Now, this is what I'm coming across. Now, when I found this truck this morning, the wheel was flopped over because, watch this. I'm going to apply almost no pressure. Look at that. See? Check that out. Look how easy that's coming off and on. So a couple of things could be happening, okay? This ball right here, this ball could be worn to the point of no return, to where maybe just the ball itself is worn, or it could be that this link is ovalized. So running in the cold conditions, I suspect may be contracting the parts, and then once it gets back up to room temperature, the things expand, and I don't believe that the ball, because the ball is probably a different material, I don't believe that the ball is expanding at the same, like, contraction rate. See what I'm saying? You put the suspension up, or at least flex the suspension up, and that literally is going on and off with zero resistance. So that's something to watch out for. Now, what I can do to, now see how it's kind of locked on right now? There's a couple of things that I could potentially do with, I guess, this. One was thinking about how this suspension actuates, right? Was putting maybe a washer on there to prevent these links from, like, I mean, look at how it's like, see if I can get it to just literally just drop on. I mean, see what I'm saying? But that's a wear item. So my question was, has this ovalized, or has the ball itself decreased in size just from the contractual wear? It's probably the wrong word, but close enough. So what I wanted to do, zero it out. What I wanted to do is I wanted to start measuring a couple of things. So first thing, connection lost, yeah, I know. All right, so I wanted to measure, obviously, the caliper itself. I mean, yeah, measure the caliper. I wanted to measure the ball. And so the ball is coming at 6.39. Then I want to measure, I'm going to measure the inside diameter, if I can, of this. And obviously I can't get all the way in there. So I'm coming up with 6.50. So you can tell there's a huge difference already right there. But what I wanted to do, zero back out, what I wanted to do is see if this is getting ovalized. .50. It looks like it might not be getting ovalized. Zeroed out. Let's see. So it is possible it's the ball. So it seems like that is consistent. So 6.50. So it doesn't look like this piece is actually getting ovalized. In reality, it looks like this piece is potentially just contracting and or wearing. So that's the issue that I've got with mine right now. And there technically really would be no resolve for that other than just to, I guess, replace the piece. So looks like that's what's going to happen. Now, what I will say, okay, Hot Racing makes brand new pieces. I'm going to show you. I'll show you actually right now. I'm going to go to my favorite place. Main. Bam. Let's get the mic down here. Hopefully this is recording with the right mic. So Main, the biggest RC shop for parts and accessories. Or including parts and accessories. So what I'm going to do is type in over here. Let's see if this works. Big Rock upgrades. So I got the big rock. All right. And it looks like you could get a rocket for the big rock if you want to have some extra power. They got so they got Super Duty titanium turnbuckle kit for the 3S line, which, man, because it's titanium, it's definitely a better quality than the rusty steel that I've got. Same thing right there. Big Rock Granite turnbuckle kit, 37. I mean, but do you really need that? There's the original parts. We're only talking $4. So here's these parts right here. This is, oh, that's axial. See what I mean? Stuff comes up that's not for the Big Rock. That's what AMA needs to start concentrating on, is instead of related products, maybe related products, but AMA need, yeah, so it's just related products. So let's see. Does it say anything about parts? Ah, see? They still have to figure out their website. So let's see if we click on it. Nope. Does it have... Ah! Bam! Parts, option parts. So here we go. Option parts right here is exactly what I was talking about. Now, you need to decide for yourself, is this the route you want to go? Now, because I've noticed that this is a wear part, do I want to go ahead and spend the $14.99 to get all of these pieces, which are going to cover the entire Big Rock? Basically, it's going to cover the entire vehicle. Or do I want to go ahead and keep buying what I would consider consumables? So let's go see if we can find that same thing. And it doesn't look like we can. All right. Dang it. All right. So let's go to... Oh, wait, there's a see all. Let's see. What do they got here? Scrolling. Hopefully page 2. And that would be... well, there we go. So, I don't know how many it comes with. So it only comes with 2. So I think, well, that says ARRMA Nero. Compatibility. Is that compatible with the Nero? With the... Yeah, 3SBL. Wow. The Big Rock is using Nero 6S parts? That's pretty crazy. I mean, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? I mean, the Big Rock uses 6S Nero parts. Well, I think this made up my mind right away. $4.99 for what, 2? Versus if I get the hot racing part. Oh, wait a minute, are those metal? It kind of looks metal, doesn't it? Well, all right. Not being able to tell whether this is plastic or not. Crap. Seems kind of expensive for not metal. It's not saying it's got to be metal. But that's not even considered, that's not in the upgrades portion. That's literally ARRMA Big Rock 3S BLX 5mm O-ring. I'm sorry. ARRMA Big Rock 3S Nero EDC. What the heck is EDC? What does EDC mean? Alexa, what does EDC mean?
EDC is usually defined as European Defense Community.
Okay, well, that's not what I was looking for. I don't know. EDC, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that guy. So, anyways, precision manufactured for consistent operation and fast servicing. Oh, right there. Strong and durable steel for lasting performance in all conditions. That would be a no for me. All right, so $5 for 2 versus going ahead and going with the optional upgrade option parts. So that would be a no. I will get the hot racing. That made up my mind right there. $10 more and I get every single piece that I need. Now, keep in mind, what's going to happen is now the other part's going to wear. So that may be an eventuality where I get, more of those turnbuckle end pieces, I guess you want to call them, turnbuckle ends. So these would be the pivot balls. Those would be the turnbuckle end caps. So there we go. There's your answer right there. So this vehicle, obviously we replaced, well, not obviously. I had done a warranty through a main with my BLX 100. This is a brand new BLX 100. I'm not suffering any issues concerning that. I think what I may be able to do, and here's a thought, I'm going to, just so I can see if I can consistently run this thing again, I was wondering if I could pop off this ball end and potentially use it down here. Because this is technically captured on both the left and right side, same as the steering component, captured, you know, top and bottom, I'm going to pop this out, see if I can use the ball end from here to go here. That way it's captured. And I guess technically to see if this is even worn. That might not even work, will it? You know what? That's a negative about this ball end then. So, yeah, I just thought about that right now. There's always a give and take. Here's the stock one. So here you go. Here's the negative part, actually, about buying the upgraded hot racing. You may get a stronger carrier piece, which is where the bearing is housed, but because it's not a captured ball, your smiles for miles can get decreased. That's a bummer right there. Your smiles for miles will get decreased. Boy, I didn't even think of that doing this. All right. So there you go. The long and short of it. Smiles for miles will kind of be decreased just because of wearing of certain parts where maybe something was captured before and now it's not. So this is also where I talk about ARRMA has it right. Am I going to stick with the hot racing? Yes, I will, because I do like the ability that this vehicle is now having to take that front end abuse, and I'll just have to figure out something else with potentially capturing the hot racing end here. So that's basically it. I don't even know if any of this was in frame. No matter what you do, there's going to be a give and take, and I think we discovered the give and take, or at least the give up, where you're gaining in strength on the area that I had an issue with, but I gave up with the length of time that the factory stock component that's still left over in there will give me those smiles for miles. Let's see if that captured ball is suffering the same issue. So what I want to do is I want to see if this captured ball that's still retained here is suffering the same issue that maybe this one is, where this one now has possibly minimized in size. Of course, it's not that one. Come on, guy. Wow, it's a long screw. And hopefully it will pop out without ruining it. There we go. I think I got it. So I'm going to get my calipers on that piece. So zero it out. So 664. So I will be able to get additional smiles for miles by swapping out. That is a difference. So I'm going to pop this end in here. Yeah, look at that. Now that actually pops in. What would be smart of me is to actually heat this piece up so that I can pop in this ball end or pivot ball in and use that piece. This piece right here I can put up there, which will increase my slop this way, but I'm actually okay with that. I'd rather, you know, not have my steering pop off. I want to see if the ball end is, I want to see if it's really that much, like, bigger. So, I've got mine bolted through the bottom because my hot racing, the thread's stripped out. It's aluminum. So, oh, okay. So because I don't want that to get junked up, I am going to heat that up. So this is my little mini torch. So I'm just going to heat the bottom of that real quick. Just like that. I might actually heat that up real quick. Let's see if that was enough. Use the right driver guy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Coming across some issues here. What I'm coming across is I thread locked it both ways. So not only is it thread locked through the bottom, it's also thread locked. There we go. That's working out. So this ball piece, I'll obviously swap in up here, and it fits perfect. Or close enough. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow me to continue to be able to beat on this thing and to basically exhaust its stock form. That's kind of what I'm doing here, is I'm exhausting its stock form. So, and as upgrades are really needed, bam. Now see, that'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's actually not much slop. But I'm actually all right with that. So now I'm going to heat this up. And I'm going to be able to put that ball in. Oh, actually, I didn't have to heat it up. So that could be an issue. All right, I've got another thing that I'm going to do then. Since that's the case with that, I am going to washer my top. See what I'm saying? This is like how things go. This is why, like, even when you do like a live, even though I'm not live right now, coming across little issues like this, I guess it's kind of cool on video, because then I can show you like my thoughts and maybe what I want to do. One of these, and I want to see if that's going to be big enough to stop that ball from coming out, and it is. So that'll work. So I can go ahead and put that in there. So the only thing I'm not sure of is, am I in the right location? It looks like I am. So I did end up washing it. So that means this thing is gonna like really wear out. See what I mean? You change things all the time. You know? Doing a video here. Now put that pretty much all the way down. And I take the little nut that I've got in here. Install that in the bottom. Give it a crank. And there you go. Bam. Now, that piece is not going to pop off, because now it's technically captured. So, that works out. Maybe I could just call this like a video short. Even though I did talk about, you know, upgrading to hot racing. That might be the way that I'm going to go because I can see that certain things are wearing. I'm not interested in paying for steel. Steel, for me, steel's just going to rust. I'm not going to put oil on my ball pivots. I mean, it's just really not, with a vehicle like this, that's not what I'm going to do. Maybe that would be recommended. I don't know. But then if you put oil on it, is it going to make the actual ball pivot holder piece, whatever you want to call it, the ball end, is it going to make that too flexible eventually? So all I know is I'm going to be able to continually get out there and rip it. We swapped out a couple of parts. We made it a little bit, like, not stronger, but we kind of did. Now at least that piece is captured. So maybe that's what I should call it. Maybe I should call this, like, you know, the captured, like, piece or something. Give and take. I don't know. Maybe I'll just call it give and take. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this episode from RC Guy Garage. Working on the ARRMA Big Rock. Coming across some normal wear items. You need to make the decision. What do you want to do? I know for me, I'm not going to pay $5 for an ARRMA piece. I'm going to buy the hot racing ball ends that are aluminum. And I'm going to get, like, how many am I going to get for that? It was like, what, $14.99? So an additional $10, I'm going to get all the pieces. And I'll replace as necessary. So I'm out. You should get out too. And like I always say, just get out there and rip it.